Okay, now I want us to work on booking an appointment. Let me go to bookings here. As you can remember, we created this folder bookings when we were creating the booking screen. And inside the domain, we're going to create our model class. I'm going to call it booking. So here we are going to create class booking. Okay. And inside this class, we are going to create now the properties of each and every booking. So each booking is going to have a string ID, a user ID, a doctor ID, the time that it was booked, the date, and also the service that was booked. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to generate the data class section. I'm going to select all of them. And so this ID here in the constructor, the ID, we are not going to provide the ID. So the ID is going to be from Firestore. So at the moment, I'm just going to have it like that. Now we have our booking model class. I want us to go to data, and we are going to create a booking repository to now connect to Firebase and save that booking. Okay. So this is class booking repository. So inside here, we are going to access the Firestore. So Firebase Firestore, and I'm going to create a constructor, this .firestore. So let me create a method to make a booking. Okay. So this is our method, save a booking. So it's going to have a required booking. So this is the booking itself. Okay. So it's going to be booking.copyWith. So it's going to be that booking. And then we change the ID. So docref.id, because as you remember at the beginning, we did not have that ID. Okay. We left an empty string. Okay. And now we can await docref.set the booking to map. Okay. And that is going to save our booking to Firestore database. Another thing that we should do is, since we are already in this booking repository, is to load the bookings that have been made by a particular user. Okay. So like we are going to access the collection booking. Okay. And we are going to go through all the bookings that have been made and load the bookings that are of that particular user. So let me create a method for that. So, and here it is. So it's going to be a list of bookings. Okay. So because it's going to be listening to that list. So it's a stream list of bookings. I'm going to call it load user bookings. And we are going to pass the user ID because we are going to get the bookings of that particular user ID. Okay. And so it's going to collection bookings where the user ID is equals to the past user ID. Okay. And then it's going to query that and it's going to return us a list. Also, I want us to return the bookings of the doctor, because if the user is logged in as a doctor, we want to see the bookings that have been made, the bookings that users have made with that particular doctor. And therefore here it is. So we have a stream list of bookings. So load doctor bookings, and we are going to pass the doctor ID. Okay. And so it's going to access all the bookings and look at the doctor ID. If it is equal to that doctor ID, it's going to query that and return us that list. Because as you can see in the bookings.dat, we are also saving a doctor ID. Fantastic. So now let me create methods so that we can run the build runner again and create providers for us. Okay, so these are the methods. The one returns the booking repository with the Firebase Firestore.instance. So the other one is for loading the user bookings. Okay. And the other one is for loading the doctor bookings. So here at the top, of course, I need to add the part booking repository.g.dat. And with that, I can run the build runner once again so that we can create the providers. If I can go back to booking repository. Okay, now since we have this save booking method, we will want us to update the state so that when it is finished, we can show some sort of message. I want us to go to bookings once again. Inside the controllers, I'm going to create booking controller. So this is the booking controller class. Okay. So this is the method future bool, save booking, and there's a reason why I created it to return a bool, because we are going to track if successful. We are going to show an alert dialog saying that it was successful. In the async value.guard, we execute booking repository.save booking, passing the booking. So let me once again run the build runner And of course, you can pause the video and write the code if you want to. Okay, so let us go back to the doctor details screen and try to make a booking. Okay, so to make a booking, we are going to come here on the on tab button. So the booking can only be saved if we click on this button, of course. And for that, I want us to collect that information and try to save it to Firebase. So here we are going to say final booking equals to booking. We are going to import that. The user ID is going to be the current user ID. And for that, we need to go at the very top of the file, the build, because we need to access that. I want us to get the current user ID. So current user ID, which is going to be ref.watch, current user provider.uid. And of course, since we are going to be updating the state, we can say state ref.watch booking controller provider. Okay, and I'm going to import this. And of course, if we get an error, we should listen to that error as well, like that. So if we get an error, we are going to display that error. Okay. So this state, first of all, let me copy that. So here is loading is going to be state dot is loading, like that. So of course, here in the booking that we want to create, we want to first of all to pass the current user ID. We pass the doctor ID, the widget dot doctor dot user ID, the time, which is the formatted time, the date, the formatted date, sorry, and the service, the widget dot doctor dot specialization. That is the service that we want, maybe the eyes, or ears, etc. Again here, since we want to use a wait here, we can pass a sync. Okay, so final result is equals to await, and this is going to be a bool. Okay, so if we don't await it, it's going to return a future. It's going to return a future, and we do not want a future. We want to await it so that we can have a Boolean value that we can use to show an alert dialog. So if result, we want to have the code here for showing the alert dialog. Okay, so if result, we want to show dialog, passing the context. Okay, and of course the builder takes the context, and we are going to return an alert dialog. So the title is appointment booked successfully. When we click on OK, we want to just to pop it out, or we can say navigator.off context.pop. We're going to just pop that alert dialog off the screen. So I can go to William Bell, for example. Maybe I want him to check my ears for whatever reason. So I'm gonna go to tap to select a date, and I'm gonna save this to 7th. Click on OK. And I'm gonna select time, okay, and I'm gonna click on book appointment. So when I click on it, it should change this text to a loading indicator. So I'm gonna click on that. As you can see, it's loading, and since it is successful, it says successfully. So if I go to bookings here, it's going to show all the bookings. As you can see, this is the latest lesson that I have made. This is the date of the booking, the doctor ID, the ID of the booking, the user ID, etc.